Jiti Ogunye joins us now. He's a legal practitioner. As we continue examining what the situation is out there, the solutions proffered, and what do we exactly do. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Yes, my pleasure.
Well, we heard the CDS, Alex Bade, saying, look, the media keeps focusing on, well, maybe the negative aspects. He thinks if there's too much of that, it will affect the psychology of the military. Perhaps he's saying that also affects how things are going on there, but you've seen what's going on. There's another attack, as a matter of fact, after we spoke on the same topic yesterday. In spite of all that is being said, how does it appear? Does it look to you that, okay, we're picking up on those areas that the complaints are and improving on them, because everybody wants the military to do well on this one?
Thank you, Chamberlain, and the rest of the team. We are facing very difficult challenges regarding security in the country. And I think that everybody realizes this. And therefore, when the media is focusing this scourge, I don't think that the media is doing that with glee. No, they're doing that with a sense of responsibility, in order to ensure that they don't continue to report this every other day. Media personnel have been known to have been attacked. You lost one their fantastic reporter to this menace. Therefore, nobody can accuse you of not being faithful in reporting what has been going on to Nigerians. If the media has been reflecting the sad reality of our situation, is because the media has not been given the opportunity to report the good ones. The media wants to report conquest. It wants to report how Boko Haram is routed, how they chased with their tail, between their legs. The media wants to showcase that. The media even wants to celebrate that. But if there are no instances, or if there are few instances of success to celebrate, so what does the media do? I therefore think that the military high command, they are very ecstatic and excited and enthusiastic at the outset, immediately after the change of command, should refrain from blaming the media. Now, at this point, my appreciation of what is going on is that the Nigerian state and the Nigerian military at the outset underestimated the determined brutality and the relentless staying stamina of this scourge. I recall that the Chief of Defense Staff, not Bade, no, not the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Defense Staff, two Chief of Defense Staff behind us, Omochola also. When the chip donated to Nigeria by the United States was being launched in Lagos here, and he was asked pointedly, he was on tape, this Boko Haram thing, how Abuja was being bombed then. He said, don't mind them, these loonies, they soon run out of lunatics that they were using as cannon fodder to perpetrate their evil. That some of them wanted to kill themselves. They will soon run out of them, of those. It was dismissive. I think that what has happened is that over time, the Nigerian state has come to realize that, look, this savagery, this anti-civilization, because that's what it is, will not go away easily. And so what I call for is a rethinking of our strategy. We need a more coherent strategy. I'm not a military strategist, but I know that with the Nigerian people supporting our military, they can do more. Now, and we see that the narrative has been changing in terms of definition and characterization of what we see. I realized, and I'm not prescient, right from the outset that what we witnessing was not just a political harassment of the status quo. That was how the politicians were reacting to this initially. And I said that repeatedly, that what has happened is that there's been an evolution. There might have been a catalyst. Look, it's true that during emergencies, if there's a public protest, hoodlums might cash in on that situation and start looting. We've organized protests before during the anti-military campaign following the annulment of the June 12 election. And people were still in Lagos, and the military used that to demonize the protest. So there might have been an impetus or a catalyst, but there has been an evolution. In this country, there was a Matasin,
riots,
and they were using weaponry. They were killing people. The military had to intervene on that occasion, and we're talking about something as far back as 30 years ago.
And the military solved it at that time.
At that time. Since that time, we've been having this. We have Gideon Akaluka. It's an evolution. And you can look at the African continent and you can see the replication of this kind of evil everywhere. Mali, Kenya, everywhere. And so for us to live in self-denial and say that it's political harassment, they are sponsors, they just want to harass, it's not correct. And so for me, there is a need to rethink this process and to come out with a coherent response. And I said, when I'm talking about coherent response, this is what I mean. You're dealing with an implacable enemy that we now know are be using itself. Some are saying that they captured, they are high on drugs, has weapons. There's a report that a military tank was destroyed by just human beings strapping IEDs to themselves just to demobilize that military tank. So we're dealing with something very different. And so we can sit down and say, yes, the Nigerian military is trained to wage conventional warfare. Now this not conventional warfare, this counter-insurgency. Nigerians are impatient for solutions.
Yeah, but you see, the thing about this thing is that, that there's many who believe that, look, the Nigerian military can handle this situation. We had the retired Captain Omar Ali the other day here saying, look, this is a piece of cake for the military. Because he's seen them in Sierra Leone, he's seen them in Darfur, he's seen them in Liberia, he's seen them even here, way back in the 80s. He says they can handle this. But there seems to be a challenge. Just as people also believe military strategists can handle this matter. But it looks as if, several of them say, we need the political will. Some others say they should look inwards. There might be someone within that is profiting or sabotaging this matter. All of those theories, conspiracy as they may term them to be, and the things that we should explore and see that if these things are real, we should face them.
Yes, I thank you, Shimbala. I've heard that ad nauseam. I've heard that repeatedly. It's become a cliche. I take the last part of it. There are people sponsoring these people. There are people who sponsor armed robbers. There are people who armed robbers. Policemen have been known to be the armorers for armed robbers in this country. So, does that then mean that the police should not fight armed robbery? They should perish that excuse. We can deal with the other issues. But the issue that here there are people sponsor, there will be people that will sponsor mayhem. That's not a reason to then say we can't deal with this situation because they are sponsors. Their duty is to fish out those sponsors and deal with them.